Hi everyone, this video is the first of our videos describing our cruise through Nova Scotia.
We sailed from Southwest Harbour in Maine and arrived in Shelburne. We then cruised eastwards along the coast, visiting Carter's Beach, Lunenburg and the beautiful Shelter Cove.
Enjoy! Our passage from Mount Desert Island in Maine to Shelburne, Nova Scotia was a 24-hour-ish passage. We had very nice winds just about all of the way from the southwest. It was a beam reach down to the southwestern cape of Nova Scotia, but we had tide against us much of the time and current against us, and it turned it into a close reach to lay the course. As you can see, we're rugged up. It was pretty chilly. When we left Maine, the water temperature was 12°C. When we went around the Cape, it was 7, and as we came up the estuary into Shelburne, it was 17, which is pretty warm. There were a few fishing boats about when we went around the Cape, some on ice and some not. But we had a nice beat up the estuary to Shelburne, just motoring the last hour or so. It was good to be in Canada.
So our first stop in Nova Scotia was the historic town of Shelburne, which boasts many historic buildings and museums and is sort of most famous, known for its dory building industry, and the Dory Museum goes over the how the dories were made and a bit of history about fishing on the Grand Banks. There's a few other interesting historic buildings and museums in Shelburne, and also a good maritime museum which goes into a bit more detail about the history of fishing in the area. Our next passage was a rather ugly 40-mile motor in very little wind and a lot of swell all the way to Carter's Beach. It was pretty wet and miserable, but Carter's Beach itself is a pretty scenic kind of place, white sandy beaches, so I think in the right sort of weather it would be a very nice place to stop and spend a few days. We only spent one night at Carter's Beach before an early start for about the 50-mile passage to Lunenburg. This time it was in bright sunshine, but still pretty darn cold, so we were all rugged up. But we had a decent sail in plenty of breeze. There was a decent breeze blowing when we arrived at Lunenburg, so we put up our riding sail, which we used to stop us from sailing around too much on anchor when it's windy, and it worked very well. The town of Lunenburg has UNESCO World Heritage protection due to its pivotal role in the cod fishing on the Grand Banks, so there are lots of old historic buildings, and there's also a very strong boat building heritage. Lunenburg was settled by German immigrants, so has a distinct German flavour and a few links back to Germany. Lunenburg is also home to the replica of the Blue Nose, which was the Canadian contender of the Fisherman's Cup, which ran in the 1920s and 30s between crews from Canada and the United States. The Maritime Museum at Lunenburg is vast and covers not only the history of the Blue Nose and Fisherman's Cup, but also a great deal more about the fishing and general maritime history of the area, and it's something that the locals are proud of to this day. We took the next available weather window to make the 80-mile passage to Shelter Cove, which we sailed overnight, so pretty good conditions. Got a bit rainy overnight, but overall we made very good time. Here we are, it's early morning around sunrise, and we are making our way into Shelter Cove, into much calmer waters, and we discovered an OCC boat also anchored inside. The scenery inside our anchorage at Shelter Cove was just stunning. Lots of wildlife. We saw lots of bald eagles and seals. We've also been told that there were bear and mink, although fortunately we didn't encounter any bear when we went ashore to explore. The next day was a bit brighter and sunnier, so we went ashore with our OCC friend to explore and walk along the beautiful white sandy beach.
You look like a YouTuber.
Later on that week we were joined by a few other boats from the OCC, so we took the opportunity to have a little get together on the beach and celebrate Independence Day. Join us next time when we explore the beautiful Brador Lakes and Cape Breton.